the yogasanas in infertility cases. Like obviously we saw all these topics before also, but we saw separately, right? In one session we saw what is this infertility in both males and females, why this will happen, how to prevent, we saw. And separately we saw even yogasanas which will get benefited in infertility, right? So there we were concentrating only on fertility. Here directly, as we all already, what all yogasanas are present here, already we saw with GIF, I explained already. So just today, just we will see what is this infertility, how it will be linked or how it will be benefited by doing yogasanas and rest all. Yoga, initially it is divided into 4 forms, right? Has karma yoga, kriya yoga, bhakti yoga, and jnana yoga. But what is this karma yoga? If you can joyfully involve yourself in any activity, maybe any activity, that is karma yoga. If you do it with great effort, only karma will come. No yoga will happen. Yoga means, again, like bhakti yoga. If you use your emotions and try to reach the ultimate goal, where we use the emotional one, like pranayama or something, we call this as bhakti yoga. We will concentrate on particular idol and we will involve physically, emotionally, we will involve in that. That means the path of devotion. And kriya yoga, with the path of kriya, you are not only seeking realization, you also want to know the mechanism of life making. Whereas jnana yoga is what I know, I know. What I don't know, I don't know. This is jnana, like a spiritual person. If I know, I know, I'll explain. But if I don't know, I am not going to pretend it like I know it, right? But why I added this pick here is by involving these all karma, bhakti, kriya, and jnana, we can change our bodily changes or bodily activities, and we can reach our goal. It may, like for today's session, we are reaching fertility rate, but in several other diseases or conditions, whatever lead we have, we will reach there. And as our part is infertility, so motherhood, obviously we all can understand this meaning of this word specially, right? Because motherhood is a special feeling which we experience joy, which we experience even frustration, even we experience the love and bond between the family, especially family, and that too especially with our kids, right? And unfortunately, few people, like few females, will not be having this joyful feelings in an easy way. They will be suffering with infertility, or they will be suffering with several other conditions. Like obviously we got to know what is infertility. Even we have both forms of infertility, in male also and female also. But obviously the conceive should be a woman only, right? If the male also having some issues and female is normal also, she can't conceive. It's if sperm count, in further slides we'll see. So the result of these all, like if the woman is feeling infertility or she is suffering with infertility, changing her physical activities with medicines and with the art, yogasanas, everything. If she is having initial problems, then no need to go for medications or like other major procedures which we saw in infertility class. She can do simple these yogasanas with lifestyle changes. She can attain fertility and she can have a baby, right? So reaching a woman with infertility condition, reaching her to a fertile rate and having a baby is our main goal in today's session, that is fertility yogasana. So this motherhood, that woman should reach her motherhood, that is the main motto of our yogasana, today's yogasana especially. And infertility, obviously, as we know, we have male infertility also and female infertility also. And we have several other reasons, like for example, just sperm motility rate. If motility rate is not present in male, obviously it will cause one of the it will be cause for one of the infertility case. And when we will call the couple as infertile or they are not having a child, obviously without any plan, if they are planning not to have baby, that's other condition. But if they are not having any plans, family plans, and they are trying to have a baby and they are intimacy like regularly for 12 months, that is 1 year, if they had intimacy without any protection, then too they are not able to conceive, then that condition is known as primary infertility. We will call it as primary infertility. In same way, like they had a first baby, they conceived, they had first baby, but the couple is not able to conceive for second baby, then it will come under secondary infertility. Due to some other issues, they are not able to have a second baby. And causes also, as I said, in male something, and in females, maybe uterine fibroid, maybe PCOS, maybe PCOD, several other causes we have. If anyone is attending today's class without seeing or without attending our previous infertility class, you can go through that video once. You will get an idea. Briefly, I'm mentioning here. In detail, we saw every slide in infertility sessions. You can go through. So due to all these reasons, if the mother, like that female, is not able to conceive a baby, she will go into anxiety, depression, guilt, and stress. These all due to reduced fertility rate. However, stress is the main factor that can upset plans for raising a family. Due to these all disturbance, her other activities in families, or it may be her other activities with husband also, will be hampered. So what to do? We should transfer this infertility condition to fertile. How our yogasana will help in that, we'll see. And what are the main causes for infertility, especially for today's generation? This week I added. Obviously, due to obesity. Obesity will be due to, again, our diet changes, lifestyle changes, smoking and alcohol consumption. This especially, it will hamper the sperm count or the motility rate of sperms in the males, and decreased sperm count motility. Obviously, this again, it will be due to this reason or due to laptop races, especially nowadays, because has everyone are used for laptop nowadays. No one, especially a working man maybe or working woman maybe, presently we are also sitting, everyone are sitting in front of laptops only, right? So these laptops are became our daily routine nowadays. But do you all know, due to this race, whichever, actually, how we will sit now? See, I'm sitting here. Actually, this is bit up. Usually, like especially IT peoples, how they will keep on the laptop, and they will use, or they will keep just in front of them. So due to that, these races, whatever we are getting from the laptop, they are stimulating, or they are reducing the motility rate of sperms, and even they are reducing the sperm count also, especially in males, and even in females. By using more laptops, due to that race, her reproductive organs are getting disturbed. So due to this, nowadays the infertility rate is increasing very much. And again, like spermatogenesis detection, or underwear, like thigh underwear. Underwear means how it's, if they are wearing very tight underwears, that is also one reason. Like by obviously, while if you all remember, while studying or while discussing about the reproductive organs, I said the scrotum of males will be hanged downwards of the body, some 1 to 2 inches from body. They will be hanged lower side. Even we discussed why they will be lowered from 2 inches from the body, lowered. Why scrotums are lowered from the body? You all remember or not? I don't know. Because as we know, these sperms are ready, prepared or matured, getting matured in the testes, right? Where testes are present in the scrotum. So these sperms, our body, whatever the body temperature is present, lower than that 2 degrees temperature, the sperm want to be live or to be active. So because of that reason, this they are hanged 2 inches down from the body, so that the body temperature will be lowered in 2 inches. And even as we saw, like infertility, how it will be, how she will conceive, like some liquid will be passed with the sperm, so that they should be live and they will be movable. If the liquid is present, then only they will be live, or else they can't move. They are movable due to liquid. These all we saw, right? Then when these rays are passing exactly for the sperms, or as I was explaining, the underwear, tight underwear, these scrotums will be moved upwards to the body, right? So in hot temperature, what our body temperature is there, that will hamper the sperms. So this may be one of the reason, or exposing to the unhealthy diets or toxics, obviously chemicals, preservatives, everything, and cell phone use. Even cell phone also same thing, due to rays, and drugs and steroids misuse. If we are taking for silly things, if I had a single leg pain, I'll take tablet, or single I'm feeling weakness, I'll take tablet. For everything, if they are taking tablets, then again it will be hampered. So these all are the main causes of the infertility. It may be male or female. So coming for our yoga. While yoga does not guarantee conception, obviously, because now as we discussed, they have the reduced sperm count, or her she is not good in reproductive organs, like if she have PCOS or PCOD or uterine fibroids, everything, then how our yoga will be effective in such cases? Obviously no, right? Obviously no, right? So how our yoga will work? Actually, for these all reasons, and they are not able to conceive, because of this reason they will be getting stress, anxiety, depression, everything, right? And that will cause again hampering in hormones, and that hormones again will hamper the infertility cases. It will make worse the infertility cases, right? So we can stimulate their so these all will hamper again their fertility rate. So our yoga can make them stable, and as I said, in initial stages, if any something alteration is there, we can correlate it. How it will see in further slides. So as they mentioned, obviously, as we said already, does not guarantee the conception. It can improve fertility rate and chances of conceiving. Yoga poses or asanas help develop a hospitable body and calm mind, thus preparing one for childbirth. When one gets bogged down with infertility issues, yoga boosts the spirits and encourages a positive outlook. That's what emotionally, like hormones, emotionally, and the thinking capacity. These all will be corrected. Due to that, the other interlinked with between each other, the other conditions will be cured. What is fertility yogasana? What is this fertility yogasana? Obviously, it's not any other asanas or yogas which includes our normal yogasanas only, but which will be related to especially the reproductive organs, and especially the fertility rate will be increased. So yoga poses designed to improve reproductive health. That is nothing but fertility yogasana. Promotes hormonal balances, reduces stress, and enhances circulation. So due to this, they will get stimulated for fertility, and obviously rest all pathological changes in reproductive organs, everything, they should go for doctors. It may be in a oral medication way, it may be other procedures, they should go. But our yogasanas will play one of the role in treating their infertility cases. That's it. So yogasanas have several benefits of general overall health. However, for issues relating to fertility, yoga can help with the following ways. How? Yoga stimulates the ovaries and uterus. So if anything, initially, if they like initially means how I'll explain. In PCOS or PCOD, as we know, she will be having ovarian cysts, right? But this ovarian cysts, it's not compulsory that in every condition they should go for surgeries. If depends on the cyst size, that is the bubble size which present on the ovary. Present on the ovary in initial stages, like below 5 mm or below than that, they can try it with the oral medications only. Or due to this yogasanas or something, don't know, like by correcting hormonal imbalances, by correcting her activities, everything, they may vanish with the yogasanas only, and by changing her lifestyles. It may be diet, it may be activities. It's not necessary that she should go for surgeries only. So in such cases, our yoga will help, strengthens and stretches the back muscles, purifies the energy channels, flushing out toxins from the body, makes the groin and hip flexible, even stretches the neck muscles and makes the spine more flexible, improves blood flow and supply to reproductive organs, relieves back and leg ache, relieves stress and anxiety, reduces tension, mood swings and depression, enables smooth delivery. So these all are the benefits which we get from yogasanas in which case? In fertility case. So if anyone asks, there will be problem in their inner body, how yogasana by doing physical activities or doing pranayama, how it will be beneficial for infertility couples. So these all are the beneficial things by yogasana. We can change the infertility to fertility. So same thing, but briefly, main 4 points how the yoga will work. Role of yoga in fertility is reduces stress and anxiety, special thing, stimulates blood flow to reproductive organs. Due to this blood flow, correct blood flow to reproductive organs, the initial first stage of changes in ovary, uterus, anything may be flushed out. So obviously she can move towards the fertility rate, right? Balances hormones and regulates menstrual cycle, because in PCOS or PCOD, she'll be having irregular cycles, right? Due to irregular cycles, her body, when it will ovulate, they will not be having idea. So because of that, she will be missing getting conceived, right? So due to this balancing hormones and regulating menstrual cycle, obviously she can move towards the fertility, though she is not having any treatment or procedures. Due to yogasana only, if she had regular cycles, she can get conceived without any medications. So that is the power of yoga. Supports overall physical and mental health. So these all were benefits. So now we will see which all yogasanas are helpful in infertility cases. Actually, I didn't add GIFs because, as I said, in initial classes, when we were going through the yogasanas, special topics of yogasanas only, we saw all these yogasanas with, I explained with, even I showed GIFs also, like how the procedure of or method of doing everything I showed. Once go through it. So one first yogasana which we can do in infertility case to stimulate the reproductive organs are Paschimottanasana. How it will help? Stretches the lower back, hamstrings and hips. So by stretching all these especially reproductive muscles, so how it will be helpful? Stimulates the uterus and ovaries and relieves the stress. So by relieving stress, obviously it will release the stress also. So stress means again it will balances the hormones. With that, it is stimulating uterus and ovaries. So this will help in infertility cases. But how? Like they should be in a consistent way. They should do in a regular way. If one day she did and one day she skipped, or like she did for 2-3 days, again 2 days she skipped, that will not work. It should be in a consistency way, and she should do regularly. But as in every class I'll mention, it's not compulsory that if they mentioned we should do for 50 to 20 minutes, every woman should do compulsorily 15 to 20 minutes. It's not compulsory. It depends on our body tolerating capacity. I can maybe I can tolerate 5 to 10 minutes, and other women can do it for 10 to 15 minutes. Depends on their body tolerating capacity. We are relieving stress here, but by doing more than our tolerating capacity, we will not release stress. Still we will feel discomfort. We will feel we will be uncomfortable by doing this, right? So how much our body can tolerate, that much we can do. Not compulsorily timings we should fix. And has, if the particular postures have a timing of to do 15 minutes, you can do it initially. You can start with 5 to 10 minutes or 5 minutes, how much you can capable. And as the regular practices starts, you can increase your time. So next is Hasta Padasana. What it will do? Stretches the back muscles, improves blood supply to the nerve system and pelvic region. So what activities this Hasta Padasana will do? It will supply the, it improves the blood supply to the nerve system and even pelvic region, and stretches the back muscles. So makes the spine more flexible. Due to this, it will make the spine flexible, movement flexible, and releases stress from the abdominal region. Relieves, especially how where the stress relieved due to this flexibility, increasing flexibility and improving blood supply and stretching the muscles, release the stress from the abdominal region. So due to this, again, abdominal region again will be related to reproductive organs. So the blood supply may be, flexibility may be, or the decreased stress of abdominal muscles maybe will be reduced. Due to this, her fertility rate will be stimulated. Janu Shirsasana. Our next yogasana is Janu Shirsasana, as showed in the pic. What it will do? Strengthens the back muscles, obviously, as we are bending forward, releases tension from the lower back, stretches the hamstrings. So has, like especially here, what is the change? Has name only suggests, one-legged forward bend. She forwarded one leg and she folded another leg. This we can do vice versa after every few minutes. So what it will do? It will release the tension from the lower back and stretches the hamstrings. Again, obviously due to these all, the blood supply to the reproductive organs may be, or relaxation of abdominal muscles may be, these all will be stimulated. Obviously, whichever asanas they are advising in fertility rate or in pregnancy, those all will be related to her back region, reproductive region, and abdominal region especially. So our next asana is Baddha Konasana. That is nothing but butterfly pose. Obviously, has butterfly pose we are doing. It will especially, this will increase the discharge from the uterus, and it will increase this elasticity of the vaginal muscles. So these actually in reproductive organs also I explained, and in fertility cases also I explained this. Whatever discharge we are getting, that is like it should not be more, little amount of discharge. She should not get that her panty is wet. She should not feel. And another thing is it should not be smelly, and it should not be like burning sensation. It should not create burning sensation in urine. If these are not there, and itching should not be present. If these all are not there and discharge is in small amount, then that discharge is a fertile rate sign. If she is having discharge, especially during ovulation and before the menstruation, if the woman is getting bit amount of discharge, that is very normal, and actually it is a fertile sign. Her fertility rate is good, we can say, by seeing. So what this actually, if dryness is more, even she will not be having sexual drive. Like she will not feel to have sex also. If it is wet, she will feel comfort while doing sex. So obviously, this sign, it indicates that she needs some wet discharge to have a correct intimacy also, and to conceive also, right? Because we know even the sperm to move, it needs some sort of liquid, then only it will be movable, right? So for these all reason, why I'm explaining these all, this butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana will get benefited for these all, and it will increase the elasticity of the vagina muscles. So we'll see, stretches the inner thighs, groin and knees, improves flexibility in the groin and hip region. Obviously, it will improve the flexibility also, and this especially why they will say to do butterfly in fertility rate, to increase the elasticity of the vaginal muscles, and even to maintain the, or to decrease the vaginal dryness. And even like initially, like in last class also we saw, right? In even this is advised in menopause women, because they will be losing the elasticity of the vaginal muscles, and they will be having dryness of vagina, right? So for both reasons they will advise this, and same work it will do in fertility also. And next yogasana is Viparita Karni, legs up the wall pose, as they showed. Helps relieve backache, improves flow of blood to the pelvic region. Obviously, as the pose only suggests, it relieves the backache and also improves the flow to the pelvic region. Pelvic region, again, here nothing but the reproductive organs. Our next yogasana is Shavasana. Helps regulate blood pressure, helps reduce stress and anxiety. Why stress and anxiety? We are not doing any activity here. Then why, how it will help in reducing stress and anxiety? Obviously, Shavasana is nothing to do with anything. Just you should lie in supine position by relaxing all the extremities, all the body parts, without thinking any other thinkings also. You should be calm and steady for few minutes, with no any activities, no any thinking, anything. But we should not sleep. We should be awake, but we should not do any activities. That is nothing but Shavasana. Obviously, we will feel relaxed, right? By while doing all these sorts of yogasanas, if mild melodious music is there, it will give a good result, because our all mind will be towards the music, right? So our other thinkings will be diverted. So these were the yogasanas which will be benefited in infertile conditions, to move them into fertility. So next is pranayamas to boost fertility. Which pranayamas? These both. These pranayamas are or breathing techniques can induce a calm state of mind and body. This greatly increases your chances of conception, because again, our stress level will be decreased. Because of that reason, it will stimulate the hormones to get balanced, and it can stimulate the fertility rate. Which are those? Nadi Shodhana, nothing but alternative nostril breathing. That is nothing but Anuloma and Viloma. Calms the mind and body, releases accumulated stress, purifies blood by increasing flow of oxygen to it. Obviously, why we are doing it? In our Ayurveda, they will say, Nasahi Shirasodhvaram. Shira is nothing but our brain or head, something, Shira. And Nasa means nose. Nose is the main route to reach the brain, it seems. According to our Ayurveda Acharyas, they gave a shloka that Nasahi Shirasodhvaram means nose is the door to reach our brain, it seems. Because of this reason only, obviously, like stress level maybe, and in hormones, yesterday's hormonal imbalances, we got to know. Our brain is the main thing. It will send the signals or send the vibes or signals to our endocrine system, particular glands, and they will release hormones, right? Now, if we are getting anxiety, depression, frustration, or stress also, now if I am thinking, my brain is thinking there, and it will send signals to endocrine system on particular glands that I got stress. Then in my body, cortisol hormone will increase. Due to that, again, other complaints will start, right? So if I make my mind only calm by doing Anuloma Viloma, obviously Anuloma Viloma, I'm doing like breathing exercises. Has nose is a door for brain. The brain will get stimulated, and it will not send signal to endocrine system or glands to to release the cortisol hormone, and my stress level will decrease, right? So obviously, Anuloma Viloma will give the oxygen supply to our body in a good way. With that, it will release the stress and makes the mind calm. And another thing is Bhramari Pranayama. Why Bhramari Pranayama has, again, name only suggests humming bee breathe technique. We saw the methods of doing it also, right? Some will do with has in showed in pic, or some will close the ear, and some like on that day we saw some will do by keeping all these four fingers and by keeping the thumb near the ear. This also we can do. So several other like procedures we have, but what we should do while breathing out, we should make the B sound. So it is known as humming B breathe technique, right? So what it will do? Release tension, anger, and anxiety, relaxes the mind and body. Again, same thing, but as it is breathing techniques, it will calm down the mind and it will relieve the stress. So these both pranayamas will help in relieving stress, especially so that their hormonal imbalances will get balanced, so that it can stimulate the fertility rate. So we got to know like some part of infertility are there, briefly causes, everything, and how it will affect the fertile rate of the person, and how it will affect what all yogasanas we can use to move that infertility rate from infertility rate to fertile. But in every step, we will be having some or other precaution step, right? What are those? Avoid poses that strains the abdomen during menstruation. Obviously, as I said, all yogasanas or anything pranayama maybe, if they have consistency, then only they can reach a 100% good result. But one point here, precautionary tips is when she is in a menstruation cycle, then she should avoid the poses which gives pressure on her abdomen. Why? Because obviously, like one thing, already she'll be fatigue. Usually, like in practical way, during cycles, we will avoid the physical activities only. All sorts of pranayamas, everything, we will advise them to avoid. But as they are explaining, instead of fully avoiding the activities, only she can avoid which pressures her abdomen, rest all she can do, according to classics. Consult a doctor or yoga instructor if undergoing medical treatments, obviously, because without their instruction or without their advice, we can't do anything. So before starting yoga, they can take a opinion of their doctors. Practice under guidance of for the best results. Obviously, like by seeing any videos, by listening anyone saying, if they practice, they may do in the correct way also, and they may not do in correct way also, right? So if they are doing with the instructions of teacher, then it will be good. And another just points I got, so I added. Be patient and positive as you practice your asanas and pranayamas. Practice regularly with peaceful acceptance of your situation. Remind yourself to be grateful for life's gifts. Try not to focus on the negative. These all you should advise your clients while they're starting yogasana. Ensure that you eat a nutritious diet, because the diet is the main cause for the infertility also, and cause for the fertile rate also. And Ayurvedic massages will not only relax your body, but also increases blood circulation. Ayurvedic massages are nothing but, we have several forms of pancha karmas in Ayurveda. like several, like depends on the complaints, depends on the condition of a person. We have panchakarma procedures, different procedures we have. They can go to relax their body and mind. Don't put off trying for too long. Fertility levels are higher when you are younger. Obviously, this all we know, right? When she's in a younger age, fertile rate will be increased. But nowadays, in younger age also, as we saw the causes, it's getting disturbed. Some more like precautionary tips. Along with yoga, do 20 minutes of meditation daily to uplift your mind and spirit. Another effective means of getting rid of stress is to practice the Sudarshana Kriya every day. It also helps maintains a balance in your overall physical and mental health. After all, hormonal imbalance is a crucial to those trying to conceive. Obviously, our hormones plays a very important role in fertility. We all know it, right? Yoga practice helps develop the body and mind, bringing a lot of health benefits. It is important to learn and practice yoga postures under the supervision of trained yoga teacher. Again, I'm repeating. So only like I'm showing with the GIF because has one point like if she is doing all this fertility yoga sequences for every morning, she can stimulate all her reproductive organs. And though few were not added in that peak, but as we know, like as I already explained, whichever the yogasanas related to abdominal muscles and especially reproductive muscles, back region, those all will be beneficial to her to increase the blood supply and to increase the muscle relaxation of her reproductive organs and also abdominal muscles. So again, butterfly pose, lotus pose, child pose, and with minutes they give. And again, minutes, they gave minutes, but it's not compulsory that if any girl is starting today, these are yogasanas and she should do 1 to 2 minutes and 10 rounds compulsorily. She can increase day by day. These all were the, especially females, though few were added in males also, female yogasanas, especially which will stimulate her reproductive organs. But as we got to know, causes are different in males and the signs and symptoms or the main like cause is different in males also. So I added some males yogas also, which will stimulate their sperm count, which will stimulate their fertility rate, which will stimulate their balanced, imbalanced hormones. Setu Bandhasana, that is bridge pose. Halasana, that is plow pose. Paschimottasana, Dhanurasana, Ardha Matsyendriyasana, Sarvangasana, and Chakrasana. These 7 yogasanas are specially yogasanas for male fertility rate. Because if infertility means blindly like local, not local, sorry, like non-medicos. If a person is in medical field, they will be knowing that infertility means it may be male infertility also and it may be female infertility also. But like common people, non-medicos people, if we discuss about infertility, they will think like only female have some issues and she is not able to conceive, right? But it's not like that. As we saw cause, signs, symptoms, everything, it may be male infertility also, and it may be female infertility also. Though the woman is perfect and she is well, due to some problem in male also, she may not be able to conceive, right? So if in such conditions, we can advise all these 7 yogasanas to regular way, to practice in a regular way for male, so that he can stimulate the fertile rate in his body, he can stimulate the reproductive organs, and he can have, or he can be ready to get sperm count, motility rate, maybe sperm count, maybe he may get increased. With these yogasanas or medications, everything, if they didn't change their lifestyle, obviously it will not work anything. As I said initially, nowadays due to our lifestyle only, infertility rate are increasing. So by following wrong by following the wrong way of lifestyle, by eating wrong way of diet, if they are doing yogasanas, if they are taking treatment, it will not work. With that, they should follow the lifestyle also, especially these 4 points, which are those: maintain a balanced diet. Balanced means, as I said yesterday also, if we are concentrating on fertility, not that only eating a fertility increasing diet we should take, not that. We should have a nutritious diet, balanced diet. according to our Ayurveda, they will say we should have on daily basis, we should have Shad Rasas, 6 types of rasas, which we have different forms. All types of rasas should go to our body to be healthy in all way and stay hydrated. Obviously, our body, whichever we are taking, we are doing, we are we are having anything we are doing, all depends on our water content in our body. If we are having nutritious diet and we are not hydrated, again it will not get absorbed and it will not give a good result, right? So stay hydrated, get enough sleep and manage stress. As we got to know, stress is the main cause for hormonal imbalance, so they should maintain stress. To maintain stress, they should have compulsorily 7 to 8 hours sleep. Avoid smoking, alcohol, and excessive caffeine. So smoking, alcohol, and caffeine, all these are heat increasing content in our body, right? So due to increasing of heat, again, it will hamper the reproductive organs, especially in males, it will hamper the sperm count. So they should fully avoid if they are taking treatment for fertility. So these are main 4 points to change their lifestyle if they are going through the treatment protocol.